What's up, everyone? Welcome to today's video. Welcome to the GamerDad channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. One litmus test that you can use to check if the Division community is actually actively playing is you make your way to the highest frequented content piece. And in the case of the Division 2 right now, it's Countdown. There's no other, content piece that I know of that is grabbing as many players and where you can get a match with 8 people. Countdown was actually designed for that. Quick play. You can get in, get out of there. You have a 15-minute window to be able to knock out a mission. And usually everyone knocks it out so fast. I'm such a bum, by the way, because I forgot to record my footage. I was looking through it. I was like, man, I was actually playing it through OBS from my PlayStation 5 and on, looking at it and listening to my PC, but for some reason I didn't hit record. So pardon me for using old footage for this conversation. Another thing that you can do too is you can look at the shade level of the people in the groups around you. Now, this is my 250 shade level character on PC, but it could be misleading as well too, because you could be in a group, you can see a guy with 4K, another guy 8K shade level, and then another guy with 150 shade level, and your presumption might be, oh, this guy is probably new to the game, or it could be that they're just grinding another character. There are all of these different factors that you have to actually take into consideration when it comes down to it. And surely you can tell that a lot of people who are playing the Division right now are the more dedicated community. Now, some people are pivoting. They're waiting for Elden Ring. They're probably leveling up a different character, maybe completing and getting stuff that they didn't get before, or trying to destroy Moog, the boss that is actually going to be gatekeeping the new content, which is not too much of a difficult boss to fight. I mean, he's hard. I'm not going to lie. I literally summoned help from other people to beat him. But that aside, I think some of these things that, are going on now with the community seem to be turning people away. Now, yes, there's an active player base, don't get me wrong. However, the turning away is being caused by the fact that developers have decided they're going to structure the content differently. Another thing, too, that's being said around the community is that the developers have changed the XP parameters, that they've reduced some XP measures that rewarded the player. Now, this is conversations and this is talk. I haven't looked into specifically where they made these XP changes, but if these are the things that people are reporting, like, oh, they're going to make us use our new season character, or seems like they've actually tweaked the XP right now, or maybe they've shuffled things around, I can see how people have a valid concern in basically, coming into the position where they're saying to themselves, I don't know if I want to engage in the game right now. And this has always been the love-hate relationship with players and Tom Clancy's The Division as a franchise as a whole. Even since 2016, when the game was released, we've had these things show up from time to time. And even 2019, it never stopped, and we're right here. So the question is, how can the developers find themselves in the middle ground and at the same time be able to kind of, make their community, in a sense, generally happy? Now, you can't please everybody, and that's just the reality. That's just what you're going to see overall. I think one thing the developers need to do is whenever they put forward a reward system, that they deter themselves from dialing that reward system back. I remember that there was a change of XP parameters a while back, one of the seasons, where they said, people were doing the same missions and they were going to make other missions rewarding or whatever it is. That itchy finger to mix things up sometimes in some areas can be a little abrasive. And that's another thing, the developers have to also realize is, and simply put, this is something where it basically culminates over time, and it's hard for the developers to make what I think could be solid changes, because every time they make these changes, they lose trust of the community members. If you nerf XP, which XP had been nerfed a while ago, I'm not even talking about this new conversation of XP, right? You nerfed XP a while ago. What did you expect your community to do when you decided, hey man, we're going to give you guys new season characters? However, if XP had been, flowing properly all this while, people would have probably been encouraged to continue to maybe level up their main character, possibly get to shade, what is the name of the other 25 level thing that you do on the bench? It's this weird level thing that I didn't even bother to do with your gear. People would have been able to get to that power level, much sooner. And at the time that they're coming in would say, oh man, we're going to give you new season characters, this would have maintained the trust between the community and them. However, eroding trust is something that it seems like Ubisoft Massive finds themselves doing, even when sometimes they intend to do some other good things, they have not built up enough trust. So this is just one of those things where we're sitting right now in the community, and there are people who are not necessarily too keen on the way things are going. There are others that are keen about it. I'm not, again, I'm keen on the new season to come out the way it actually is, to be very honest. However, we have to kind of weigh the entire conversation and see things from other people's perspectives, because believe it or not, the way players engage with the game, the way clans engage with the game can also affect people who may be new or people who may be benefiting from, a player base who is interested in the game. Let me give you an example. Let's say somebody is coming in, they've dropped the game for a long time, and they want to come in and they want to maybe get like an Eagle Bear, or they want to get like a new weapon that can only be acquired from experienced teams. If those experienced teams are feeling the way that some of the player base are feeling, they're going to be vacant. They're going to vacate their any reason to play the game, and these players may not be able to benefit from that. That's just one disadvantage that I see. So even though some of us may be excited for it, there might just be something that could, in a sense, affect somebody in a negative form, and then that person can't find anybody to run these missions with them. What do? They pack their bags and they're like, well, I'm going to go to another game. So for the longevity of the game, I think the onus falls on the lap of the developers to ensure that these things are received very well. They could use their PTS as well to do some of this stuff. That's another thing that they could also do. Maybe they did in the other PTS, but a lot of people are not playing the PTSs these days anyways, because they can't really get it to console, so that the more active player base, which is the PlayStation player base, I think they're the ones that are probably going to be able to give, in my opinion, a better, a better mix of feedback. But being relegated to PC only, doesn't necessarily help with the feedback system. Man, this is crazy. This is a crazy thing with live service games, and I almost feel bad for the developers. But hey, they're getting paid, they're enjoying their jobs, I hope, and they're doing their thing. And what I hope for them is that they're able to bring out the Division 3 and reduce the hate part of the relationship that the community has had with the franchise since the onset. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the video. I appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.